Good morning, students. Welcome to our bio class. In this session, we are going to discuss about different types of animal tissue in short and their function along with the diagram. We have studied in animal tissue. Say in animal tissue, mainly we have done 4 types of tissues. First one is epithelial tissue. Second, muscular tissue. Third is connective tissue. And nervous tissue. Okay? So, in animal tissue, I have told you both living and dead cells are there. And mainly, there are 4 types of animal tissues which we are going to study. Epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue and nervous. First, we are going to discuss about different types of epithelial tissues, its structure and where it is present. Okay? In epithelial tissues, further there is subdivision depending upon the types of tissues, or we can say depending upon its structure and function. Okay, so epithelial tissues are further divided into squamous tissue. Squamous tissue, so by name itself it is clear that it is square in shape. It is known as squamous epithelial tissue. Next one is cuboidal tissue. Cuboidal means it is cuboidal in shape, cuboidal tissues. Next one is ciliated epithelial tissues. Cilia is present. Ciliated means cilia is present. Hair-like structure. Okay. So, ciliated epithelial tissue. Next is striated tissue. Striated epithelial tissue. And columnar tissue, it is like a pillar. Okay, its shape is like a pillar, columnar tissue. And one is glandular tissue. Glandular means it gives or it functions as a gland. Okay, so these are different types of epithelial tissues. They are present in different internal organs. Squamous epithelial tissue. In this, the cells are thin, flat, and little cytoplasm is present with nucleus at the center. And outline is irregular. Squamous epithelium is present in skin, esophagus, and lining of mouth. Next is cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal epithelium, they are cube shaped with nucleus at the center and outline is polygonal. Just see the diagram also. And it is present in the lining of kidney tubules and duct of salivary glands. Columnar epithelium, these are much taller or than width. Okay, it is taller than the width. Just see the diagram. The length is more in comparison to the width. And outline is polygonal in shape. Nucleus is elongated along this axis of the cell and it is present in respiratory tract. Now, these are ciliated also. See, hair legs projection is present. I've told you, which is known as cilia, and it is present in respiratory tract. So what will be the function of that? It will prevent dust particle to enter into it. Cilia moves forward to clear the mucus. See, epithelial tissue, they protect underlying cells from drying, injury, and even bacteria. They protect organs like mouth and alimentary canal. They help in absorption of water and nutrients. They also assist in elimination of waste from body. And some of them are secretory in nature and helps in exchange of gases. Sometimes the number of layers are present. Not only single type of epithelial tissue is present, there are number of layers, and it is thicker than simple epithelium, and it is relatively tough also. Okay, so it will help to receive various stimuli. It also helps in receiving stimuli from atmosphere and convey them to the brain. And ciliated columnar tissue, see, they are columnar in shape and numerous fine cilia is present. I've told you just now, numerous fine cilia is present in columnar ciliated epithelium tissue. And they are column. Column means they are rectangular in shape. Just now, the structure will be same when we are talking about simple columnar tissue and ciliated. Only difference will be that it has cilia. Now next is muscular tissue. They are composed of long and narrow cells called muscle fiber or myocytes. They are responsible for movement in our body. They contain special protein which contract and relax. Muscular tissues can be voluntary muscular tissue or muscles which are performing or moving on our wish. They are termed as voluntary muscles. And involuntary. Involuntary means we are not controlling that. It is not under our conscious control. And this is under our control. When we want, we are moving these muscles. But these involuntary muscles, they move without our consciousness. They continuously work. Even we are not thinking and moving that particular muscle, but it is moving and working. That is termed as involuntary. And again, on the basis of structure, muscular tissues are further divided into 3 types. Okay, depending upon the structure and function. First one is striated muscles. Striated means light and dark bands are present. Okay. Next is unstriated. It means striation is absent, light and dark band is absent. Nucleus is present obviously. And cardiac. Cardiac muscles are branched and they work continuously. Okay, through the whole life they work. Their important property is that they continuously relax and contract in a rhythmic way. Striated muscles are having cells which are long, cylindrical and unbranched. Okay, and just see, there are number of nucleus present and they are present towards the periphery. So, striated muscles are multinucleated and nucleus is present towards the periphery. That means sides. Okay, and these muscles are present in muscles of limbs. Limbs means hand and legs, body walls, tongue, pharynx, beginning of esophagus. So, In all these internal organs, striated muscles are present. Unstriated muscle. I've told you just now that striated, light and dark bands are present, and in unstriated, bands are not present. That's why they are termed as smooth muscles also. See, here both the ends are pointed. So it is a spindle shaped, and obviously it is unbranched. And see, nucleus is only present in the center, and that also one nucleus. So unstriated muscles are uninucleated. No dark and light bands are present. And these muscles are present on the walls of internal organ like alimentary canal, digestive organ, urinary bladder, blood vessel, etc. Cardiac muscles are short, cylindrical, interconnected with oblique bridge. See, two strips of muscles are connected, okay, that is obliquely they are connected, so they are branched and ends are not tapered, and one or two nuclei is present in the center. It may be one or two. See, it is marked also, nuclei is present at the center. The main property of this muscle is they contract and relax rhythmically throughout life, and these are present on the walls of heart, pulmonary vein and superior vena cava. They are involuntary. They are not under our control. Striated muscles are voluntary muscles because we move our legs and hands on our will. While if we are talking about unstriated and cardiac, they are involuntary muscles. Connective tissues, they are mostly composed of protein. Connective means they connect or join one tissue to another in the organ. They are supporting framework for the body. Okay, in many they protect and clean the body also. They store fats, so they perform different function. In connective tissue, I've told you it may be fluid or dense connective tissue. So on that basis, it is divided into different types. That is bones, cartilage, tendons, ligament and blood. This connective tissue is mainly made up of proteins. Okay, it mainly composed of proteins and bones, cartilage, tendons, ligaments and blood. All these are connective. In connective tissue, cartilage are semi-solid and semi-rigid matrix is present, and they are hard and flexible also. They resist strains. They are present in nose, ears, rings of trachea, while bones are hardest tissue, and that is due to the calcification of its matrix. And what is the matrix? Matrix is made up of calcium salt deposited around protein fibers. And the mineral provide rigidity. Okay. Protein fibers provide elasticity and strength. Most of the bones are hollow and possess bone marrow cavity. Areolar tissue, just now I have told you, they are present between the internal organ. Okay, so these tissue prevent the organs to get compact, or we can say that it provides space for the contraction and relaxation. And okay, so they just don't get collapse with each other. Tendon are the connective tissue which attach muscle to the skeleton, or it may attach muscle to the muscle also. And simply ligament connects bone to bone. Blood is a fluid connective tissue. in which blood cells is present in the plasma, like RBC, WBC, platelets, and it which forms the matrix, and it helps in transportation of nutrients from one place to another. It also helps in exchange of gases. Clear? Nervous tissue is the longest tissue. Okay, longest cell. Nerve cells are the longest cell. What is the main function of nervous tissue? They convey message from one part of the body to the other part. See, from the sense organ, they convey message to the brain, and after that, brain convey back message to the sensory organ, and accordingly we act. Whenever we are acting upon anything, it is because the message is conveyed to the brain, and after that brain reply us how to act. So nervous tissue are the tissues which help us to reply according to our environment. We react according to the change in the environment. That is due to the presence of nervous tissue. Thus, all animal tissues are completed. Watch the video properly, note down all the points, and make the notes properly. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Thank you. Have a nice day.